Hi, my name is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. So, I am here to talk specifically about love. This is an absolute abstract concept that I have, and I have been trying to figure this out for a while. I have less than 30 minutes because I have a meeting at 11 o'clock that's going to be starting. So, for now, I'm just going to go ahead and start this because this is going to be like a massive process. It's one of several sessions that I'm going to be doing on love. So I have this radar that goes off every time something tells me that something's off. And I noticed one of my massive lessons that I learned coming out of the way of the Buddha was stepping in and going, wow, anything that causes us suffering goes against the frequency. Anything that brings us pain is not aligned with our song, our music, or our life song, our frequency. And I noticed it was like this massive sit down and observation of just watching people going, isn't that interesting? And I would talk and I would watch people and I would observe. And so this is my final observations of, what's interesting to me. And what I noticed is for everybody who has the right answer to what love is and what it should look like and what it should be, most of us are pretty fucking miserable when it comes to love and relationships. Have you ever noticed? Now, I'm a fucking expert when it comes to suffering. And when I'm sitting here smashing my toe with a hammer, I don't wonder, why does my toe hurt? I know it's because I'm smashing my toe with a hammer. And I'm watching people suffer. I'm in the business of teaching people how to end their suffering. And I notice that when you have an increase of suffering or unhappiness, it's because you're doing it wrong. And I don't mean wrong like you're off by 2 degrees. I mean, you're resisting the current and you're flowing like you're not flowing at all. You're like crawling upstream trying to fight the current of the stream. And I'm looking at it all going, you know what everyone's miserable about? Love and relationships, which got me thinking, I don't think we're doing it right. That got me thinking, what is the right way? Now, I looked inward to myself because I have a very unique kind of love, a very unique style of loving. And this is where it started was I discovered my unique style of loving when I was 13 years old. And I was really fucking miserable. I was in love with somebody who didn't love me. I dealt a lot with unrequited love. And then I have a lot of experience in the realm of relationships and love. And I've been married twice. I have 20 years of marriage under me. And even after the marriages, I had two what I would call serious relationships. And I'm at the end of the way of the Buddha. My current, no, the love of my life is on walkabout at the moment. And I had so many people. Oh, he's not good for you. You need to find some. That's when the advice came in. Oh my God, the noise. And I found my stream and I was in my stream and I was happy. And I was fantastic. And then this woman comes up to me and she starts telling me, you're doing this wrong. You need to be doing this. This is what, and she just bombarded me. And I felt my views, my beliefs shift from my stream into hers, into the patriarchy, into the Disney world. And I hurt. My pain that night within a few minutes went from, I'm having a pretty good time, to I was suddenly suffering and had substantial pain and said, I need to leave. And honestly, I got thinking a lot about that night and what love is. So, this is my hypothesis, and this is what I believe. I believe that love is not an emotion. It's not an emotion because I study emotions for a living. I have been studying emotions for 30 years. Emotions behave a certain way. Emotions are consequences. Emotions are highly logical. Love isn't. Interesting. Love is stable and doesn't change. Emotions change. Anger isn't permanent. If anything, emotions are temporary. That's one of the things we're taught in the way of the Buddha is that resist it, sit in it. The feelings are there, just sit in it. Sit in it. It'll pass. And sure enough, every emotion passes. Grief passes. Anger passes. Pain passes. When they don't pass, it's because we get stuck in the processing. But if you understand how to undo the processing and unjam the works, everything flows. So if you're living a pretty good life and you just have a bad feeling or something comes up, it's logical. You can pull it from, okay, I'm feeling this emotion because of X. I'm feeling this emotion because of Y. I'm feeling this emotion because of Z. Everything's logical, but not love. Love doesn't do that. Love doesn't even play by the same rules. Love has nothing whatsoever to do with emotions. And I read this one article from Psychology Now where she explained that actually it was a meme on Facebook. She was a top psychologist in her field. She was extraordinary. I love following her stuff. And she explained that people think that love is an emotion that you have to chase. And she explained what love really was in her point of view, how love is something that endures the test of time. And what she proceeded to describe, she was right. But what she described was not an emotion at all. And I have people now who come in and, this is your situation and this is what you should do to handle your situation. You just need to move on. You just need to whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. I love differently than the average person. I have a style of love and it's not understood by a lot of people. So I just don't talk about my style of loving, my love style. Everyone has a love style, but we're taught by the patriarchy that love is an emotion, that you can just throw it away and go find somebody new, that love is replaceable. So we have this massive amount of pressure to adhere to what the patriarchy says is love. Love is an emotion. Love is, you have your true love out there. Everyone needs to be monogamous. It's this idealized, this is what it is, this is how it feels, and this is what you should pursue. And it's making every one of us fucking miserable. Have you noticed? If you're not, if you're single, you have this massive pressure to pursue the unknown love that's out there. You have this ongoing need to find the one. If you're single, you're shamed into feeling like there's something wrong with you. Why aren't you matchable? Why haven't you found somebody yet? If women are a certain caliber of attractive level, oh my God, the pressure is a whole nother level of hell. How dare you be single and deprive a good man of a good wife? I was raised with this shit. And then there's definitions of what a good man is. And if you choose a man who doesn't meet that criteria, there is a shaming that comes on you. How dare you choose an unattractive man? How dare you choose a man who's not tall, who's not wealthy? How dare you choose a man? You're attractive. You should belong over there. There's a lot of shoulds pressuring people when it comes to love. And every one of us is fucking miserable. That's why there's 50% marriages ending in divorce. That's why so many people are out there on this hunt. Love is not an emotion, it is a state of being. Love is a state of being. So, what exactly does that mean? Let's look up Google state of being definition. And let's look what Google says the state of being is. A state of being, according to Google, is a quality of your present experience. Qualities, not goals. Being happy is not an achievement, it's a state. So think about that. Love is not a goal, it's a state of being. Happiness is not a goal, it's a state of being. It is something that should not be pursued. It's just a state of being. The Spanish language does it justice. You have ser and estar, to be and to be. One is temporary, one is permanent. For instance, please don't PC the crap out of this in my comments. I am a girl, therefore it's a permanent state. It's permanent. I will always be a girl. I will be a girl tomorrow. I will be a girl. Okay, we're gonna. I have two X chromosomes. Is that how it is? Is that how the chromosomes work? I have two X chromosomes and XY. Yes, I have two X chromosomes. I am a girl. I have two X chromosomes. I will always have two X chromosomes. I will never have an X and a Y chromosome. I have an X and an X chromosome. That does not change. That is a permanent state of being. I feel sad is a temporary state of being. Technically speaking, I guess it would be a state of being because it's just temporary. Love is a state of being. It's permanent. It's not something to be pursued. It's not something to be chased. It's something that comes to you. And when it's here, its only purpose is to be enjoyed. That's it. Just enjoyed. I am absolutely, completely, and totally in love with the love of my life. And the longer I know him, the stronger it gets. It grows. And it will not end. I will always love him. Now, there are a lot of other emotions out there that mimic love, imitators. That's for another podcast. That's for another episode. Because imitators is what a lot of people run into. Mental illness imitates love. And that's just it. And I said this in my previous video about a car accident where my aunt's husband and three of her children died in a DWI. Excuse me, died in a DWI accident in 1990. And here it is 2023 and she still loves her son. She still loves her two daughters and her husband because love doesn't change. It is a state of being, a permanent state of being. But there's a lot of love mimics out there. And there's the patriarchal defined. This is love. This is what it looks like. Fall into the box, people. And it's making us miserable. And I realized that every time I pushed myself into that expectation, I was miserable. But when I shifted into the state of being, I feel fantastic. I feel really good. My love is on walkabout right now. I miss him. And I really look forward to the day when he returns. My God, do I. I cannot wait until he comes back. And that's just it. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's just a state of being. I'm going to talk a lot more on this, but once you understand that love is not an emotion, it's a state of being. It's a state of existence. And it is totally reflective of your personality, of your identity. It is who you are. Loving someone is just a reflection of who you are, of how much you love yourself. Yeah, I have a lot to say on the concept of love. And right now, this expectation and these definitions and this pursuit of love causes a lot of us fucking misery and suffering. Yet it is the cause of the majority of suffering out there is either a lack of love, pursuing it, unable to find it. But it's not because you're unable to find it that causes you to suffer. It's the expectation and the belief that that is your purpose. And there was a period where the love of my life was like, I don't want a patriarchal relationship anymore. I don't want the labels. And it doesn't change how I feel. It does not change. It changed nothing. We removed the labels, but the behavior, everything stayed the same because it's a state of being. Yeah, it feels right and it feels good. It's not my purpose. My purpose is the garden. And there's this moment where I realized I could just sit back and just enjoy my purpose. Enjoy. What an unusual word. Enjoy. I'll have to look it up. Maybe that's my problem is I don't know how to enjoy myself. I don't know how to enjoy my purpose. I'm going to change my focus to enjoyment. I think that's what I need to do. All right. I'm going to end this podcast because I am at 10:52 and at 11 o'clock I have a meeting. I feel enlightened, informed. I feel like I have a direction. I feel solid. All right. I know where I'm going now. Thank you for listening. This has been The Healing Garden. I am Anna Imagination. All my links are down below. Please subscribe to my newsletter. Take a look at Design Your Journey and figure out which healing path you want to take for you. It has been wonderful talking to you this morning. And as always, may the kindest of words always find you.